Welcome everyone, I hope you're having a great day. I'm going to be coloring this page from Coco Comfy Days Cute and Comfy Coloring Book. I just am starting with the first page that's in this book, and I'm going to kind of be doing them in the order of this book. So this page kind of gave me some fall inspiration, had pumpkins and leaves kind of all around this page, so I wanted to kind of make it a fall inspired page, even though right now in Wisconsin it is definitely not fall, it is winter. Last night we just had a blizzard and winter storm. So I'm just starting off here. There was kind of a big space in the background, so I decided to turn that space into a brick wall of the building. So I just drew out my lines with a ruler, and then I erased the lines that I went over the other spaces on this page. So I just went in and erased those lines, and then I'm going to go in and now draw the vertical lines of the bricks, kind of just alternating either or from the lines and making my brick pattern. This is a super easy pattern, and it's very mindful when I do it. Then I went in with these three colors to color in the bricks. I went in with shade 91 and 93 from the Master's Touch alcohol markers, and shade 1 for the Smart Art marker. I'm using two different alcohol markers or brands here because that's what I have, and so I use a combination of these alcohol markers. I just kind of picked out three different shades and kind of just placed them. I really didn't have a way of deciding which brick I wanted to color. I just kind of picked a brick and colored it one of the three colors. So I went in with those three different shades and colored the whole background of the brick. And there is all of the kind of base of the brick pattern. I am now going in for the shadows of the brick. I'm just coloring the bottom right corner of them all. And for this, I went in back with shade 1 for the Smart Art marker, and then shade 92 and 93 from the Master's Touch alcohol markers. And then I just went in and kind of reinforced those lines. I used a black line marker. I'm using the Tombow Mono drawing pen in the thickness of 0.5, and I just thought this added a nice touch to kind of really solidify those lines. I didn't use a ruler for this because bricks are not completely straight. They kind of have some roughness to them, so I thought just my natural lines were really good for this. And now I'm coloring the stone around the door. I went in with a cool gray. I think it's CG3 from the Smart Art marker, and then I went in and added the shadows for that. And now I'm going in with shade 93 from Master's Touch alcohol markers for the door. And to make this look more like a wooden door, I went in with shade 92 from the Master's Touch alcohol markers and just kind of drew some lines to give it a wood kind of texture. I'm now starting in with the greenery on this page because I wanted this to be a fall inspired page. I wanted the grass and the tree that I'm coloring here to kind of look like the leaves are changing colors. So I went in with a light green and a yellow. I went in with shade 48 and 35 from the Smart Art marker, and I just kind of altered the green and yellow, trying to blend them in as best as possible to kind of give it that changing leaves kind of vibe to it. I kind of wanted them to look a little like they were dying, I guess, in the best way possible, but I thought it turned out pretty well. So I just alternated those colors to kind of create the look that I was going for with the greenery. So now I'm going to color the awning of this page and also the tablecloth. I kind of used both colors just to make it more unified. I went in with shade 21 and 95 from the Master's Touch, and then shade 22 from the Smart Art marker. And I wanted this to be very fall, so I went in with kind of a terracotta color for the awning, and then I went in with a deeper orange for the pumpkins, and then I also colored the carrots on the tablecloth. And then that shade 95, I went in and colored the leaves on the awning as well. I also used that same shade 95 to color the chairs that our two little friends are sitting on. I thought this was a nice warm brown to color these chairs in, and just make them look very warm wooden chair. I then went in with some shadows to kind of finish all of these things that I just colored off. I just kind of went in with a darker shade of the colors and gave them some more depth. I then went in with a deeper red to color the heart and the cushions of the chairs. This was shade 91 from the Master's Touch. It was kind of one of the same colors that I used in the bricks. And now I'm coloring our little friends that are enjoying their lunch or breakfast, whatever they are enjoying. I used some warm grays for both of them. I used warm gray 1 and 2 for the bunny, and then I used warm gray 5 and 8 for the mouse, I'm pretty sure. These are all markers from the Master's Touch. So I just went ahead and colored in those, and then I also wanted to add kind of like the pink ear, I guess, to the mouse. So I kind of outlined a little like hairline for the ear, and then I later went in with a pink to kind of color that in. And then I just went in and added the shadows for all of these, just like I've been doing for the rest of the page, just kind of with the darker shade. And I thought these turned out really cute. I thought they fit the vibe very well. I didn't want them to be super dark, but yeah. So then I just went in with that pink, and then I decided to go with a purple for the flowers. This was shade 77, or I'm sorry, 145 from the Master's Touch markers, and then I colored the bow, and then I also colored the little boot on the mouse. And then I went in and added the shadows with shade 77 for that as well. And then I just went in and colored the hat. I used shade 95 from Master's Touch to color this hat and added shadows for that as well. Then you can see here, I'm just kind of flipping through. I wasn't sure what kind of colors I wanted to use for the rest of the tableware. I wanted something to fit the vibe, but I didn't want something super bright. I don't know. I was just super stuck on this, but I eventually went in with shade 83 from Smart Art Marker. It's kind of just like muted lavender color, kind of has some gray to it as well, but I thought it kind of tied in the other shades of purple that I used on the pages, and I thought it went well. So I went and colored the vase, and then I used Cool Gray 3 for the teapot and the cup on the table. I thought a gray kind of fit this well. Again, I wasn't really sure what colors I wanted to use for all of these little details. I spent some time thinking about it, but I eventually came on these colors, and I thought it turned out well. So I'm just going in now and adding some shadows again. I kind of do this, like, I'll color one thing and I try to add shadows like right after I color one thing, but I sometimes forget. So here's just me going back in and adding shadows to all the things that I really didn't yet, as well as the teapot and the cup that I just colored. And then I was coloring this pie. I thought this was a super fun little pie. I went in just with a brown and then 2 different shades of red. I went in with a deep red 10 from Master's Touch, and then a brighter red for the cherry on top. That was shade 11 from Smart Art Marker. And then I'm just kind of adding my finishing touches here. I colored this little pot in the back with the same terracotta that I used for the tablecloth and the awning, and then I just went in the shade 43 from Master's Touch. And I also colored the petals for the flowers as well with that color. And then I thought this page just was kind of missing something, so I decided to kind of stipple this tree. So I went in with the same shade of green that I used for this tree. That was shade 48. And I just kind of put dots all over the page. I did 2 layers of this, and I thought it turned out pretty good. Just kind of gave it a little bit more dimension. And then my favorite part of this whole process is adding the white highlights. So the marker that I use is from Sharpie, actually, and this is just like their paint pens. It's got like a brush tip to it. And I just go in and I add white highlights to the opposite sides of where I don't add the shadows. I did this also on all of the bricks. I thought the brick turned out super fun. I really liked how it turned out. just makes everything pop more. All of the highlights just make everything pop. So I'm just adding my final highlights. I'm really liking how this page turned out. It did give all of the fall colors that I was envisioning for this page. And this is it all complete. I thought it turned out super cute. I did have some kind of doubts of how it would turn out, especially with the color choices and everything, but I thought it turned out really cute and definitely has that kind of fall vibe to it. And thank you for coloring with me today.